We are 1 month past the opening of the summer transfer window, which opened on the 1st of June. And it might be easy to look at our summer transfer window based solely off the activity in the transfer market. But that's probably not even going to be like 10, 15% of the full picture of what's going on. United entered the summer with one hand tied behind our back. The odds are far from in United's favour, and INEOS are under significant pressure to bring success. Despite the many problems that handicap the club, they have to deliver. There's no two ways around it. No one's making excuses for them. They're like, yeah, cool, everything's hard, I don't care, make it work. And there are way more than 5 things that INEOS needs to sort out to get right this summer, but there are also some real big needle-moving things that might have gone under the radar that have to get sorted before the start of the new season. So here is 5 things INEOS need to do this summer. Number 1, eliminate United tax. Some of you might downplay this one a little bit, but United's typical strategy of paying overinflated transfer fees for sub-bar players is long past the point of unsustainable. The reason that United are getting rinsed with the PSR stuff on top of the horrendous Glazer ownership is because we can't move on players, we pay too much for them, we give them too much in terms of wages, and then you're lumbered with them. And it mounts up, it really does. So far it seems like the board do understand the importance of this, and our negotiations, I think at least so far, have remained quite disciplined. There seems like there's a willingness to walk away from Etiquette after Frankfurt's €100 million valuation. That shown some level of brain power and common sense, which is quite rare, it seems, for Manchester United's board. But we are also a long way from seeing the perfection. We're not quite seeing the level of like, that was a good price that City was getting the likes of Ruben Dias and that for. You know what I mean? Or Laporte, actually. I think Ruben Dias was a bit more. Brentford remain quite stern in their valuation on Mbeumo. We can't let that stray too far from where we value him. If it's a couple of million, I think that's fine. But I think going from like 25 million to 75 million is not what we want to be doing with this one. There could be a deal for Gyökeres that shows United's negotiation muscle. Maybe that's one of the things that they're sitting and waiting on. Maybe the fact that we're being seen to put out Watkins and Delap and all of them lot. Maybe this is us doing a bit of very overt tyre kicking and window shopping. Well, maybe we're not revealing our hand that we want to go in there for Gyökeres early doors. And maybe that's a negotiation tactic that we're seeing played out in the media. I don't know. I'm just guessing. And there's a little bit of hope and cope going on there, I'm going to be honest with you as well. Can we take advantage of the tension that is forming around Gyökeres? Can we take advantage of a situation that benefits us for once? Can we do that? They need to move him on and he don't want to stay, and there's a diminishing price starts to happen. Can we get in there and make it happen? And that's just our negotiations for incomings. Our negotiations for selling is arguably way worse than our ability to bring players in, especially with young talent. You've got to start getting the correct value for players. Chelsea, I know I'm going to do a video soon about Chelsea, but Chelsea, Liverpool, City, they get real money for their young players. Even if they've never made a first team appearance, they come in and they get proper value for money for them. And that enables them to go and do. Look at the money Manchester City have spent recently. Why are they able to do that? Because they sell their academy players for real money, not a half-eaten apple and a bag of quavers. Liverpool, why are they able to do that? Because they're selling players for real money. Why are Chelsea able to do that? Many reasons, but one of the reasons is that they sell their academy players for proper money. Number 2, balance the squad. Many people think that a key measure of success for United this summer is balancing the wage bill, but it goes way deeper than that. It's about balancing the level of the squad as well. There's more to this window than just cutting out how much we spend on salary. There's no dramas spending money on salaries if you're getting the product and the value for money out of that. I don't think anyone has an issue. Like, when Messi was earning $2.5 million a week, was people like, oh my God, the game has gone. I can't believe how much Messi earns. Or they're going, Jesus Christ, that's a lot of money. Well, it is Messi and he is worth it. No one minds if someone's worth it. It's when you're like Alexis Sanchez, 470 grand a week, and you're like, mate, you shouldn't even be playing. What are you talking about? That's when it starts to get people's backs up. And right now, Manchester United, one of the biggest wage bills in European football, not one of the best teams in European football, I think it could be argued. Wouldn't you agree? Obviously, cutting down the squad helps us monumentally when it comes to the wages, but you also then have to bring in people that can replace them and take the club forward. It's not just about being cheap, otherwise you can just make yourselves an amateur club and make everybody pay subs. You still have to be competitive. The next important step would be bringing the squad back to balance with the correct signings. So you haven't got 14 left backs, but no one who can play right back. That you haven't got 55 midfielders, but you only play 2 and no number 9. We know the forward line needs work and goals, and there's a levelling up process, at least in the process going on. A striker puts the finishing touches on that, especially if you're getting Bruno over the line. Midfield needs a bit of a retooling, especially when you're losing Eriksen and the inevitable loss of Casemiro. You could do with the right wing back. There's areas that need to be upgraded. So let's address that with a little bit of balance. And that can even be balanced in terms of the position. You can't go and sign. I saw someone in my comments earlier say, just go and sign Goncalo Ramos, Vlahovic, and Osimhen, and just let them all play, and we'll keep the one which works out best. And you're like, that's not going to happen. Financially, that's not going to happen. From a common sense point of view, that's not going to happen. Them three sit next to each other in the changing room and be like, right, who's playing 9 then? Because what are we doing? And if you only play with 1 9, 2 of them are sitting out. You've got about 6 weeks before that gets well toxic. There has to be balance. You can do it. If Chido Obi is your backup or your third choice, Rasmus ends up as backup to whoever out of those 3, or Gyökeres or whoever, that's fine. Because there's a hierarchy and people understand the hierarchy, and you can incentivize the people that are lower down in the hierarchy to try and work harder to get to number 1 in the hierarchy. But ultimately, people know if everybody's fit, he starts because he's the best. And that's the sort of thing you need.
It is hot as balls. I know you know this. We're all feeling it right now. And if you've ever sat through a hot day with an overgrown undercarriage, it's not just the weather that's going to get sweaty. Luckily, the good folks at Manscaped have dropped the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra, and it's this slick, white hot edition that is finally available across the UK, Europe, and Australia. It's the same top tier trimming that's been used by over 12 million lads globally. Now it is available in this crispy, hot, white gold finish that just looks as sharp as it trims. Let's be honest, this isn't just about looking pretty on your bathroom shelf. The Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra is designed to handle your business downstairs. No nicks, no awkward red patches, no drama, just a smooth, safe trim where it absolutely counts. And whether you're refreshing before a big night, heading off on holiday, I just want to feel a little bit more like a bloke that's got his life together, this little beast gets the job done. Use the code Howson, that is HOWSON, at manscaped.com for 15% off your entire order. Go and treat your bits better. Nobody likes a mid-trim mishap. One rogue move and you're walking funny for a week. No, we're not having that. That's where Manscaped's skin-safe technology comes in to help build for those oopsie moments. We don't need that. The blades don't tug. They don't pull. They just glide over your skin like a dream. None of that raw, sandpapery aftermath that you get with the dodgy clippers down the high street. It's simple. There's no fuss. There's no 14-step skincare routine afterwards. You just grab it, tidy it up, and crack on with your day. You can use it in the shower, by the sink, or even when you're packing for your trip. It's compact, it's powerful, and it's not something that you'll be embarrassed to bring along with you. The white and gold finish looks the bollocks. It's white hot looks. It's silky smooth results. The Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra brings the heat without roasting the balls. Go to manscaped.com, use the code Howson, that's HOWSON, get 15% off your entire order. That's Howson for 15% off. Stay cool, stay smooth, and leave the burns to the sun.
Number 3, invest in youth. United are facing the biggest potential risk to our proud youth record now more than any time before. And it's one of the proudest things about our club. It is a record that could not be replaced. The potential sale of homegrown talent in Garnacho, in Marcus Rashford, in Kobe Mainoo, risks us putting out a squad with 0 youth graduates in it. United have a beyond storied history when it comes to developing our own players. From the class of 92 through to Rashford, but the Babes and all of the players that came before it, all the way back to the 1930s. As the academy influence fades in the first team, fewer graduates than ever are getting into that first team, certainly getting into first team places, but even in the squad. Investing in the youth now, make it a cornerstone of what INEOS is trying to do. And they've already come out and said that that's what they want to do. Restore United's identity, because without our identity, then who are we? We might as well just pick a different name and a different club every single year. But the long-term stability that you get from having a thriving academy system, the pride that we get as fans in it, and obviously maintenance of that record. You know, yes, you're going to have young players in the team. They can take the team forward. But Aiden Heaven, Diego Leon, Obi Martin, Lenny Yoro, they're fantastic young players, but they're not homegrown, and that thing matters. Invest in the youth. You know the proven benefits it brings when it's done correctly. That's who we are. Now, the obvious issues here is there has to be a level of short-term thinking, and investing in the youth is only a long-term thing. You know, there is a short-term demand for first-team success and to not finish 15th in the table, but the long-term strategy has to nurture a team for the future. There has to be a way to balance this. Balance the expectation, balance the experience, and prove Manchester United are going to be here for the long term. And like every time that we've gone to the well of the youth, it's resulted in our best ever sort of success as a club. You know, youth players shouldn't be getting minutes because they are youth players. They should get minutes because they are Manchester United players that happen to have come through our youth, and they are the best people for that job. There's a chance that Tom Heaton might be the only academy graduate on the bench next season, and that's mental. We can't have that. It's time to make Carrington the best hub of youth development in the world again. Number 4, align Amorim expectations. INEOS and Ruben Amorim have to be aligned with what they expect this season to go like and how they expect the rest of this summer to go. Their expectations have to be totally aligned, realistic, and fair. The system that the manager plays demands very specific roles out of the players, and the club has to go and find those players for him, or it's never going to work. A robust midfield pivot, versatile defenders, agile, clinical attackers. INEOS summer activity has to align with those needs, and that's it. There's no two ways around it. When we're at a point where you can actually start to judge Amorim's team if he gets those players. You can actually judge Amorim's team and his performances if he gets those players. Critics have been very fast to judge Amorim and judge him harshly because on paper it's horrendous and it's almost indefensible. He himself didn't really want to join the club when he joined. His win percentage is criminally low compared to his predecessors. That's going to hurt him down the line. You know, what do we realistically expect from him this season? There has to be improvement on last season. How far is that improvement? Some people will say we need to win the league or bin him. It's just not realistic with this team. So where do we draw the line? Like, is 14th is technically an improvement? Is it good enough? Is top 10, top 8, top 6, top 4? There will be a line of which there has to be an acceptance that will do. And unfortunately, that will stop short of winning the league. But where do you draw that line? Is it 2nd? Is it 3rd? Is it 5th? Is it 6th? Or is it 14th? Is it just improve? On that shit show last year, improve. Because literally one place higher is an improvement, right? Don't think anyone's buying that, though. And 5, this is the big one. Reset the culture. That's the most important thing that Manchester United have to do this summer. We've been criticised from our culture point of view for a handful of managers now. A lack of discipline, a lack of accountability, a lack of winning mentality. It's plagued the club since Sir Alex Ferguson hung them up. No better time and place for this new era to start than right now. I don't think. No European football. 1 game a week. Clean slate. Bring the signings in. I guess we just have to accept where we are right now, but we have to build from this. INEOS and Ruben Amorim can work together. They can create an environment, we've seen him do it, of winning, of professionalism, of performance. The departure of some high-profile, high-paid wages does signal a shift away from the complacency and the strategy under Woodward. You know, we have all struggled with the cost cutting and the redundancies and all of the various ticket price fiascos that we've had. I think INEOS have missed from a PR point of view a few times, but you can actually see that they're trying to do. You get the vibe that what they're doing is doing it to try and make Manchester United better, whereas the Glazers just look like absentee parents. INEOS, I think they're making mistakes, but I think they're trying, and I got a bit of time for that compared to what the Glazers have been like. The culture needed to be reset. It looks like they're in the process of doing that, but they're going to have to get it right, because you can reset the culture and it can still be wrong. Just hitting the reset is no guarantee that it resets and is actually a positive. But yeah, let me know. That's my 5 ideas. Let me know yours in the comments below. I'll see you in the next one. Laters.
Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, 5-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.